Okay, Wike is at it again. Is challenging Wabara. That why is Wabara praising Alex Otti, who happens to be one of the best governors the Igbos have had in the recent time. He's saying that Wabara doesn't have any right to be praising the opposition. That Wabara is in PDP, meanwhile Alex Otti is in Labour Party. You know that Wabara ought to be voting for or campaigning for the PDP so that the PDP will return back to Abia State. Quickly, Mr. Chinedu, it seems that the PDP and Wike are planning to take over Abia State back, just as the APC are also planning. Why is Abia seems to be the golden piece?
You know that for a very long time now, Abia State have never experienced good leadership. They have not been blessed with a good governor. Johnson Carlo was a complete failure. Joe was a complete failure. Okay, Okpeazu, that one is a complete write-off. You know, so you can see the number of years Abia State has suffered in terms of quest to have a good leader, to have a good governor, even to be able to have certain infrastructure that can transform the face of the capital of that state, Umahia. There was nothing like that for years, you know. So in trying to define, what is actually the problem, I think to an extent God intervened and gave them a Labour Party candidate who happens to eventually win that election. That is Alex Otti, and we have seen to an extent, Abia State is breathing. I'm not saying that everything is 100% okay in Abia State, but it is better than what it used to be before. In terms of experiencing what leadership is all about. Talking about a state that has been in comatose, has been relegated, has been looked at as if what we are experiencing now can never happen. It's just like what happened to Umahi in those days, when he was governor of Ebonyi State. You can see the level of infrastructure foundation he was able to lay in that state. Other state we haven't experienced it, and currently now we are going to see the Japan of Africa in Abia State. We are going to see another New York. If Alex Otti is able to maintain that level, and the same thing if you look at what is happening in PDP currently now. I think Edwin Clark was very clear on that. He said it very, very clearly. The South leader said for PDP to actually survive, as a party, they need to do something about the emperoric character Wike has been showing. This is a man who is already on the other side of the divide. Let me put it that way. And also giraffing, trying to find out, how he can navigate his influence over an executive elected, democratically elected governor in Rivers State. I thank God that Simi Fubara is trying to pick his pieces currently now, and from the way I'm seeing things, the matter is still, the war, the battle there is still on. But I think Wike is gradually losing grip in Rivers State. So I think PDP need to be very careful, and look at the antecedents of that Wike. Wike is not the founder of PDP. People who laid that foundation, he is enjoying today. They were not as tyrannic as Wike. They were not, as overbearing as Wike. They were political patriots in all ramification. That laid the foundation of PDP. That Wike, jumped on board today and started trying to make PDP look as if it has become he's the only one that is carrying PDP along. Even before the last presidential election, we saw what happened in Rivers State, and that is the reason why they duly compensated him. But nobody, the media are not even reporting in that angle. The media are not even reporting what BBC, BBC documentary on Rivers State, how Rivers State election was manipulated very clearly. How they changed figures on different different time, which was published in the papers, but the media are not looking at that. Are trying to bring out issues like that to let the world know that Wike has no positive mind towards PDP anymore. because it can't be here and be there and at the same time. So you want to eat with two spoons at the same time, and is going to backfire, because it will end up creating problem for Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. Because he's creating more enemy, and of course, Rivers State is very important in terms of election, and if Tinubu loses grip on Rivers State as a result of political activities pioneered or engineered by Wike in that state, it's going to affect Tinubu at the long run. And of course, there's issue of Kano too. That one has not been resolved. So I think generally PDP should come together and sit down and know how they will ease Wike completely. Though he's boasting, I don't know who.
Yes.
He's boasting that nobody can remove him from PDP.
Yes, he had a media chat yesterday to celebrate 1 year in office as Minister of FCT, and he said, emphatically that he was not going to leave PDP. That in fact he will remain to fight to finish. And I mean, to buttress this point, that was when he called out the Wabara, and he also called out Edwin Clark. That Edwin Clark is just an elder statesman, that otherwise he might have just insulted him, because when he was, financing and sponsoring PDP, nobody was found. But when it was time for him to ask for his own share, everybody betrayed him. That now he will remain to fight.
Mr. Lee, I don't think that was correct. Remember some time ago, Otti Okalo was having the same understanding, and position when Obasanjo came into power, where he said, he was the one that pioneered PDP. That Obasanjo leveraged on and became the president. PDP is not a personal estate of any person. PDP is a political party, that houses members, from different states, from different regions, from different locations. So Wike cannot come out and claim, ownership and sponsorship of PDP. What will you now say about the founding fathers? Would you now say about those who has kept PDP alive till date, till when Wike jumped on board? What would you say about Fayose? Ayodele Fayose? What would you say about those men who has contributed so much to PDP? So that's what Wike is saying does not hold waters at all. As far as politicking is concerned in Nigeria, it does not hold waters. Because the anger and reservation he's having today is because of the evil plan he had by disrupting the zoning arrangement of the PDP. That possibly a lot of people are saying that is one of the reasons why Obi have to leave. But normally, if PDP were reasonable, Autumn is also having problem, because he made Autumn the chairman presidential committee on zoning, and at the end of the day, they're able to zone. And we can pick was battling to secure PDP presidential ticket at that time, until Tambua came in and threw him to the gutter, which people like me celebrated, because we know the kind of manipulation he was trying to bring in at the end of the day, and it backfired. So I think it is high time he leave that party. Wike is becoming irrelevant politically, as far as I'm concerned. Because currently now he cannot. The only thing he's struggling to is to see how maybe if this is no more working in PDP, he will not say I'm decamping fully to the APC.
Mr. Chinedu, I want to differ with you, because this morning a very PDP chieftain was on a mainstream media. He agreed to the fact that Wike is a monster that the PDP themselves are finding very difficult to handle, because we are saying that Wike should be sacked. I mean, for the last 1 year, we can see how PDP has been playing anti-party activities, and yet PDP seems to be helpless. I mean, what's the take on that?
In Nigeria, we are not going to rule out pacification, financial pacification. which Wike is using to disrupt the internal democratic principles of PDP. That one, we know that one very well. Now people are buying into that idea of financial pacification. Let me just put, he gives money, so that people at every point in time will come to say no, we still need somebody like this in this party. But in the real thing is that mark it, if Wike continue to on this trend, they will tell him that he is not the owner of PDP. As simple as that. And if care is not taken, he will eventually end his political career. So we know the reason why he is currently serving under a APC-led government. We know the reason why. We know why Tinubu picked him, gave him that ministerial appointment. We know why. But are you trying to tell me now that EPDP members that is throwing dust on now currently, like Wabara and all the rest of them, come out and decide that they are expelling Wike from PDP? Are you telling me it will not happen? But mind you, currently now, his loyalists in Rivers State have already joined, indicated interest to join Fubara to fight Wike. Currently now, as I'm talking to you, I think they are trying to give him a certain time for him to come back, to come to his senses, to his consciousness, But now that Edwin Clark has come out to say that it is time for a PDP to expel him. Okay, look at the revelation coming from Ugochinyere. Do you know that Damagu, the national chairman of PDP, secretly wrote to the Appeal Court? What is the content of that letter? Go and read it. You discover that most of the things we see physically, there is something going on behind it. That our judiciary has become a threat. Most of the politicians are victims too. Most of them leverage on that to play all manner of dirty politics at the end of the day. So they were even writing to the Appeal Court to take a particular decision against a particular political party and the individual. That is not that has no jurisdiction, that has no legality, that have not gone through court processes. So those are the things generally the whole thing that is being played out, because the northern Nigeria are looking at how they are going to sideline the eastern Nigeria again and possibly go for somebody they felt that they have tested, by asking the governor of Bauchi State, Bala Mohammed, to ask they have a way of manipulating the South politically. That statement by Bala Mohammed means that if Jonathan comes, the North will back Jonathan against Tinubu.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.